Mexican food and fried rice. Two of the greatest things on this earth. Put them together and you get this chicken fajita fried rice meal prep. Coming in at just 481 calories, this can be an awesome recipe for those of you with a weight or a fat loss goal. I started prepping this meal at 2:12 p.m. and had it finished and plated 46 minutes later at 2:58. That's what I'm talking about, my kind of meal prep recipe. Get me in and out of the kitchen. The number one reason I meal prep is to create more time for myself to be able to do the things that I want to do. And if I'm going to spend any extra time in the kitchen, you might as well throw me into prison because my desire to be either place is probably equal at that moment in time. Now, let's get after it. Step 1 of this recipe ideally occurs the night before you plan to do your prep, as leftover rice fares better for fried rice than fresh rice does because it has had the opportunity to dry out. For the chicken fajita fried rice, you will need 3 cups or 450 grams of cooked rice. That will likely be between 150 and 200 grams of dry rice, depending on what variety of rice you use as well as the method of preparation. The following day, when you are ready to begin your prep, start with the chicken first so that it can marinate for a few minutes while you chop the vegetables. Into a large bowl, add 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of oil, 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of lime juice, 1 teaspoon or 6 grams of salt, 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of pepper, 2 teaspoons or 6 grams each of garlic powder and chili powder, 1 teaspoon or 3 grams each of paprika, ground coriander, and cumin, and then 1 teaspoon or 1 gram of dried oregano. Mix those seasonings into the oil and lime juice to create the marinade. Set the bowl aside and get out a cutting board and your chicken. I used 2 pounds or 908 grams of boneless, skinless chicken thighs in this recipe. Chicken breasts can absolutely work, but keep in mind that they are not as forgiving, especially in a meal prep application. You are going to cut the chicken into thin strips. Think fajita shape here. You should shoot for about 1/4 of an inch in thickness. Picture what the fajitas look like when you go to that godless hellhole of a restaurant we know as Chili's. That's the shape we want. As you're slicing and dicing your way through the bird rumps, you can clean away any excess fat and gristle. Then once you have it all cut, transfer the chicken into the bowl with the marinade and toss it around to thoroughly coat. Every piece of chicken should have coverage. Peel apart the pieces that are stuck together so that every side gets hit. Set the bowl aside and allow the flavors to penetrate the meat while you cut up your vegetables. Start by peeling, halving, and then cutting 1 medium-sized onion or 200 grams worth into thin slices. Next, you'll need 1 medium-sized red pepper or 150 grams that also gets cut into thin slices. I pass the knife through the peppers in the other direction to cut them into more manageable bite-sized pieces. In addition to the red pepper, you will also need 1 medium green or poblano pepper of 150 grams. Cut it the same way as you did the one before. I prefer the flavor of poblanos over green peppers, and they are also much cheaper here in Texas, so I often use them as a replacement. Whatever colors you decide to use, you just need 300 grams of total pepper. Next, mince up a few cloves of garlic until you have 1 tablespoon or 15 grams worth. If you wish, some cilantro as a garnish over the top of the final dish is an optional addition. Roughly chop a few leaves, or don't, up to you. And now you can cook the chicken. I think a carbon steel or a cast iron skillet is the best tool for this job as they lead to better browning when cooking meats. Heat about 1/2 tablespoon or 7.5 grams of oil in the skillet and then add in some of the chicken to cook. 2 things about cooking this. You shouldn't need to use a bunch of extra oil as it already has 2 tablespoons worth in the marinade, hence only adding the 1/2 tablespoon at the beginning to get things started. Second, you should cook the chicken in batches to not overcrowd the pan. If I were to dump all 2 pounds of the chicken into this 12-inch skillet, it would have been too crowded and prevented the pieces from properly browning due to a buildup of steam and water getting trapped without the space to evaporate. That will keep the surface of the pan around 212 degrees Fahrenheit, and we need it closer to 300 degrees in order for the reactions that lead to browning to occur. The brown edges and surfaces on this meat is what will add depth and extra flavor to this dish. I cooked my chicken in 2 batches. Once one batch of your chicken has finished cooking, transfer it over to a plate to rest, being sure to leave any rendered fat and oil in the skillet. Add in the remaining uncooked chicken to the skillet and repeat this process. When the second batch is finished cooking, transfer it to the plate with the other chicken, once again leaving the oil in the skillet, and then place the chicken aside while you cook the vegetables. Add in another 1/2 tablespoon or 7.5 grams of oil to the skillet if needed, and dump in the peppers and onions to cook first. Season them with a big pinch of salt right when they get into the pan and toss them around to coat with the oil. Cook these for 2 to 3 minutes or until they have started to soften. Then you can add in the garlic, toss once again, and cook for a minute or 2 until the garlic starts to become fragrant. Next, add 3 cups or 450 grams of cooked rice and stir to lightly fry in the oil. Pre-cooked, frozen rice in a bag that you buy from the store works great here as well if you don't want to prep any rice the night before. Just warm it up a bit first so you don't cool down the pan too much. Next, to the rice and fajita vegetables, you can add in 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of lime juice and stir to mix it in. Follow that up with your chicken and any juices that have gathered on the plate. Mixy mixy mix, taste test, and adjust with salt, pepper, or lime juice to your heart's content. This recipe will yield you 5 servings, so lay out 5 of your meal prep containers and divide the contents of your skillet evenly between the containers. I also garnish each dish with a bit of chopped cilantro and a lime wedge, but these are both optional. I mentioned at the beginning that this meal could be a good choice for if you are trying to lose a bit of weight, and it's important to remember that when it comes to making body weight changes, calories are the most important variable to consider. If you consume and absorb less energy than your body expends, you will lose weight if this concept is consistently applied. No one meal will lead to weight loss or weight gain. It's about the totality of your intake and your body's relationship to energy balance over a period of time. Lower calorie meals with a good amount of volume and a decent dose of protein like this one can help make it easier to achieve a calorie deficit. Each serving of this chicken fajita fried rice has about 481 calories and 40 grams of protein. If you want a more energy-dense meal, it's super easy just to add more rice to the recipe to fit your caloric needs. The meals will last for up to 5 days in the fridge, and I recommend reheating them in the microwave. I think it's always a good idea when reheating chicken to decrease the power level on your microwave to about half or 75% of full power. This will prevent it from drying out and keep away that weird reheated chicken taste that sometimes comes when you reheat chicken in the microwave, which is usually caused from overcooking it. This ended up being one of my favorite meal prep recipes I've made all year. It was great for me to eat for my lunches all week, and the fact that it only took me 46 minutes just rocketed it towards the top of my list. I'm just a huge sucker for quick recipes. The full written version with instructions and ingredients listed is published on my website, and that is linked in the description below. So whether you're looking for something quick and easy or something a bit on the lower calorie side, this one's going to be a good choice for you. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and if you're looking for other low calorie meal prep recipes, check out these 2 linked here. Goodbye.